6:59. 6:59 p.m. Clock. 7 p.m.
Marvin, here is your reminder. It's time to start the Peasy Show.
But selected. Up next. Play video button.
Hey, let's go. Hey, come on. Yeah. You know what time it is. Let's go. Hey, come on. You know we on the time. That's right, we on your live. You know it. Let's get it. Hey, going. Come on and talk the time. Please do me a favor when you see me, my nigga. Don't forget to share the live. The vibe. Welcome to my room. Yes, I'm blind. Catch me Monday to Saturday live. East Coast time. Yeah. We on the rise. We comfy shoes. We enjoy the ride. What we can do is motivate minds. Like Motivation Monday. All up on your life. Hey. Topics to try. Thinking decline. Wasting some time. Till we get to Wednesday where we can ride to new wave music where the independence thrive. Yeah. Thursday, where if you don't talk to me. And PZ's open mic can be the place where you should talk to me. But I like Saturdays, it remind me of the most cypher days. You can get on mic and you can rock the stage, but you only got 30 minutes, join the stream. So what you come join with me, you can be a part of me in the Peasy team. I call my piece, People's Peace. Catch me weekly on the Blind MC, that's right. What you come join with me, you can be a part of me in the Peasy team. I call my piece, People's Peace. Catch me weekly on the Blind MC, let's go! Talk about it. You know what time it is, my guys and girls. You know what it is. Your boy is back. And he looking a little new today. Yeah, I know. We back on a new thing. Excuse me while I wipe my brow. Your boy is cut down. Yeah, I know. It's a whole new look. And it's different. Definitely different. Definitely different. So as sure as you know, today is Motivation Monday, man. So come with it, man. You know what we doing. We coming through to see what's motivating you this week. Let me share this thing out to the peeps, and we're going to get some of these things out here for the folks. Let y'all know what it is. Just a second, I'm going to get back to you. Come with it. Give y'all all the time. Give y'all all the time. Give y'all all the time, because I still had some things going on I didn't get put together by the time I got in here. But you know, we got to stay on our message, on our motion. You know what I'm saying? Motivation is key, and we just come through to give you what you need. You know what I mean? Motivation for me has always been something that keeps me pushing through all of these difficult issues and even shit that I just didn't think I was going to make it. You know what I'm saying? It keeps me eye on the prize when life is throwing a bunch of this ridiculousness at you. And you don't feel like you can take it. It's like so much of this stuff just drives you right up the damn wall, man. It seemed like today a lot of people was going through that today, man. And I really understand. Like we are all living in a world where it feels like this is it, man. A lot of shit is going down, and we don't understand it, you know. And everybody just wants to be, you know, the almighty and controller and it's like, hold up, how do we even determine this as something that we, can actually even, manage? Because like Jesus, at this point, we sit here and we try to be all this, we're in control. But you know what I mean? How are you in control if you can't even control your own emotions? You know what I mean? Like, for real, how can you say you're in control if you're not in control of your own emotions? So you gotta control yourself. You gotta be able to, you know what I mean, understand what's going on with you. And sometimes that means taking on a new look. Understanding what makes you a happy person. You know what I'm saying? And real talk, like, it's a lot to all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we have different ways we view things in life. I done met people that, they view things that a whole different brand. I wish you would stop being so daggone stupid. Every day you find a way to be stupid to me. Come on. It's like, if you ain't doing stupid stuff one way, you do stupid stuff the whole new way. It's like, oh, let me just be stupid this way. Come on, bruh. Damn, I hate when you do that weird shit. Just be on some of the weirdest stuff. It's like, first off, I pulled the link from this particular page. I pulled the link from this stream today, and for some reason it never showed up in the clipboard. So what was I supposed to do about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta excuse me. Bear with me as we get this together for my folks over here on the YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook sector, because I want my folks to be able to come in here too. I don't want them to feel like they got left out too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my folks and folks over here on this side of town, because they stay freaking with me. They stay funking with me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all my folks over on the other side of town. You know what I mean? My folks on the, side of town that I love to ride around. IG, you know what I'm saying? How we put it down. Y'all my kinfolk. But, give me a sec.
SLANETHROWERD. First boy Molly Latin cross crown crown lock WSG. How you going?
Down. Yeah. As you know, your boy is blind. So sorry about that. It talks a lot. But you got to excuse me so I get all this together. But Brock, give me just a brief, my guy. I see you over here. Yo, Mr. BROC. What it do, big homie?
Man, bless, man. I was
Take it, bro.
caffeine, it's Motivation Monday, so I guess summing it up, what's keeping me motivated, man, is just self-inspiration, bro.
Yep.
I guess I'm thankful of myself because I feel, others may disagree, however, but I feel I'm solid as a person, you know what I mean? Whether it be musically, just talking shit, friendship wise. I ain't never been on no foul shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't never been toxic. I've always been a leader, a motivational person to anybody that has goals to be accomplished, you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I myself feel like I am a person that has done so myself. I work on myself every day to be that way. I agree.
I'm just hoping that, being from the era where others can, of the newer generation, should I say, or any generation, can somewhat display some type of love to self. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's missing in hip hop.
I agree, bro. We got a lot going on in this world. It's a lot of people out here that just believe that it's almost like because we live under times where a lot of people have idolized all the negative things that came out of this creation we call the world around us. they have leaned into it almost. Like it's like now it's like it's so saturated in the world, like wicked things, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Instead of it being often what it used to be looked at, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, we should go get this person help. You know what I'm saying? Like, because something's not right. But here we are, you know, 2023, the world is seemingly looking like, you know, all these things are happening and there's destruction all over the place. People are getting caught in their situations where it's like, you see that, man, and it's terrible out here, yo. Like, people don't feel like, you know, the world should have been like this, or it, you know, a lot of people are just like, why, even if it was made to be like this, are we like this? Like, why were we created in this form? Like, you know what I mean? There's so many people, and people have such a callous, like, thought process, especially now. It's like they don't even care about what others, you know, how others are affected, what has, you know, what is something that can often be something that hurts people. Like, I think people have lost the connection that one another once used to have. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, I feel like we grow up realizing that at some point we trying to build something with people that don't really care or want to care for any other person but themselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we deal with a lot of people that, you know, they act the part of they want to care or they want to do for you, they want to be for you, but behind your back, they're incepting and injecting you with a whole bunch of like deadly, fatal shit. Like, it's, you know what I mean? At the slightest chance they get the opportunity for it. You know what I'm saying? It's the kind of shit that make you not want to trust people. It's the kind of shit that makes you not want to deal with people. And it's just like, yo, how do you get around that? How do you go through life feeling like you have something to be even happy to be alive for? Because at some point it gets to a point where you get so deep in that thought of it. It's like, damn, man, why I gotta keep waking up every morning? It's some bullshit. Especially if I gotta keep waking up in this.
You see, I guess building comes naturally, Peasy, you know what I'm saying? But it's those that try to tear down what you have established, you know what I'm saying, bro?
I agree.
The goal for me, man, is just remaining strong amongst all this bullshit that motherfuckers are portraying, you know what I'm saying, bro? If you solid with yourself, it shouldn't be so hard to give off that.
It gets easier, especially then. But like when I was younger and I was growing up, it was very much a level of issues in my perspective, because a lot of my, you know, generation ahead of me, you know, that was older than me, was telling me, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, like, if you want respect, you're gonna have to earn it, and you're gonna have to fight for it at some points, because ain't nobody gonna just give you shit. So it's like, you know, for me, you know what I'm saying, I was always looking at it like, well, why is it that we have to go so hard on something in order to even be recognized as someone who is doing something like this? Because anybody who is able to create something that is unique and special and even be someone of that particular character should be acknowledged in some kind of way, because we see so much negative posted all over the place. You got it going on all over the place, even here on Instagram and Facebook sometimes, YouTube and shit like that. You got all this negative stuff, and it's so trendy. Everything is going up on negatives. It's like the most ratchetest shit gets millions of views. And what kills me about it is when it comes to conversations like the ones we have here on the Peasy Show, nobody wants to listen. So it's like, what kills me the most is like, we want to do better. We want to see ourselves being better, but then we don't want to take in what we have to do to get there. Because yeah, the system is unfair. Yeah, people in our government are not treating us right. But at the end of the day, it's up to us to make those changes. I said that same thing to somebody who has never voted in their life and they're 30-something years old. I said, yo, you can't complain if you're not going to do anything, bro. You can sit here and say, oh, voting don't matter, but if you've never done it, how do you even know?
Being a person that never voted myself, you know what I'm saying, bro?
I understand, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then the fact that the southern states have such prejudice, you know, traditions as far as how the politicized system is. Like, their systems, that's why they have voting rights policies and legislation in play in states like the southern states, like a lot of the Confederate states, the older states from, you know, from the 13 colonies, because a lot of them still try to hold restraints on people so that they can have equal policies, equal legislation, equal, you know, representation in our systems, in this governmental system, because there are people that are paying attention to the things that are damaging people like you and me and others that are out here in the world, in this state, in this country, and they overlook it. They're in charge of this shit to be the ones to pull these errors out of the amendments, out of the constitutions and things like that, in order to make an orchestrated amendment that would actually give the rights to the people, so that the, you know, Constitution is what it's supposed to be. It's as it should be stated. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, what we looking at is two different spectrums of a lot of different things as you see it. Like, we didn't learn about, you know, the real, you see what I'm saying? We didn't get taught about, you know, all of that stuff. All we got taught about was a lot of the political activists that they wanted to commercialize, like the Malcolm X's or the Martin Luther Kings, or you didn't hear about anybody else but the Sojourner Truths and maybe, you know, Harriet Tubman here and there. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, you know, once you start to actually dive in, you realize there are a number of black men and women that were real innovators, even back at that point in time, where if we actually took time to take in that knowledge, you would learn that there was a certain culture around these people that they had to embrace in order to succeed and get past all of these trials and tribulations that they faced, which made them so notable. Because, like, for me, like, I realized, like, personally, I understand, like, the cultural situation that us as black people had to go through, especially here in this country. Like, and I focus mainly on this country because my black ass generation, my family was dragged to this country. So as I look at the situation, I have my family line traces back to these slavery times. You see what I'm saying? And almost every black person in this country, born in this country, I'm gonna say that every black person that was born in this country before, you know what I mean, have family roots to this country, and I mean like family that traces back to the late 1600s or to the early 1600s when we first moved here. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, I've gone into that organization and I'm trying to retrace my steps across water. Like, I mean, honestly, because I feel like when you look at the situation, the most oppressed people are the people that were talked about in the Bible that were still suffering and should have been still suffering to up about this time. And what is, you know, I'm saying, sorry, go ahead.
What you're saying is, being that I'm a person that don't dwell on the past but acknowledge it, you know what I'm saying? Is I'm an 84 baby, you know what I'm saying? So I guess to think, where will we be in 2084? You know what I mean?
Right.
With the change, because I mean it's so similar, with the exception to maybe technology and laws, different laws that have changed since me being younger. I'll say it like that.
But you have to realize also in that sense too, that's the reason why I go so hard about certain stuff on that, because my thing is this: when you look at the fact that there, are laws out here now that weren't always out here like that, and they weren't given laws to us that showed that we had any kind of rights at one time. You know what I'm saying? So to even be alive in an era of time where, I'm able to be the difference of what could be, happening in my situation or my children's next situation on this country soil, because the struggles that we don't handle go passing down to our children. And that's how I've been viewing a lot of things nowadays. And to be honest with you, I've seen my share of, racism, adversities, and different levels of discrimination, up until the points of where I am now. So it's like when you see some of that shit firsthand, it makes you really want to dig deep and figure it out, because, bro, who wants to sit here and be feeling like they are being oppressed by somebody because of a situation that you don't have a clue as to how this whole thing even got started?
See, the thing, bro, with me is like, you know what I'm saying? You remember the Boyz II Men, Don't Let a Lifetime Pass You By, right? That song?
Right.
Well, being almost midway through life now, bro, it's like, life does passes by at a rapidly quick speed.
Oh my God. Super fast. Super fast.
So with these upcoming generations, you know what I'm saying, to build, to like back to what you said, how to build and grow and advance, you know what I'm saying, for the benefit of most, you know what I mean? There's so many things, it could be a wish or to snap the fingers and make better, bro, but without full participation as a whole, as a
whole unit, we have to learn to work together. I was just saying the same thing. Mind you, I've been talking about this whole thing all day long, bro. Like, stuff like this has been going through the conversations around me all day long. I had a brother came to me today. We sat down right here in my crib and we talked. We had a conversation about, everything, like from the fact that, it seems as if this is just about to be like on the edge of like all out war everywhere you go, and nobody's safe anymore. And it's like, in order for us to even feel like we have a place or a stake in in this planet, in this part of the globe and shit, we have to be like able to sacrifice the will to want to, just the fact that we have to fight to live in order to be able to continue to be the people we are. Because
we've been at war since I've been born, you know what I mean?
Bruh, and it's never, it seems like it's never ending.
Nah. Even though it's been with different people at different times, it never did end. So what gets me is I feel like we are being warred upon. So why do we pause and rest?
And that's it. Because we've been getting molded like this whole time throughout our entire generational lives. Like, think about the fact that almost every generation in history has gone through conflict after conflict after conflict with another person or another nation of people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This nation has a difficulty understanding or getting along with this nation, or this nation just wants to take over another nation so that it's their nation, and they're all having to be forced to do what they want them to do instead of them being independently able to be a sovereign nation, as we call it.
Dictatorship. I get what you said.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, you look at the situations that's going on, like, okay, all right, there's certain people, they dig how, China lives, you know what I'm saying? And they want to go visit. Some people have actually moved here over there. And honestly, truthfully, I mean, myself personally, I feel like, if visit ain't gonna kill you. you know, to go out and see something new and be able to explore a part of the world that you've never been to. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always wanted to do that. I've always envisioned myself being somebody who, you know, wanted to see the world and be able to travel and say I've been to this place and that place. But at the same time, I look at the issue of God put us in place for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of something that I said to myself in essence to why I have never flown in a plane or never asked to or wanted to. You know what I mean? Like I probably had a bunch of different chances and probably could have done it at any given time.
It's like,
but I just don't feel like, bro, I don't, that shit scares the shit out of me, bro. It's like, it scares the shit out of me. It does, bro. Cause it's like, for me, the fact that, like, I don't know, maybe because like I hear about, you know, I'm watching the news. I mean, and when I watch the news, majority of the time, I'm like catching up with all this other shit. And when I say I watch the news, I don't watch like TV news, cable news and shit. Like, so like my networks are pretty like off brand and shit. And the news that I get is very much progressive, but it's democratically driven. So like we look towards like equal for everyone. Like, I mean, I feel like it shouldn't matter who you are and where you come from. If you are a person who lives in this country, you should be allotted the legal rights that this Constitution has stood on for centuries now.
In my opinion, the Constitution is bullshit, though, people.
It is, but here's the thing. Here's the greatest thing about the Constitution. It can be amended. You know why? Because it can be changed to equalize everyone in its land. At the same time, the reason why they didn't do it and why they're not is because of the people that are in control who have power in this area, and they know that if they get exposed, if they lose that, they lose power.
That's why since generations
that control keeps them monopolizing their money, bro.
These generations are changing, bro. That's why we need more people in Congress, legislature, legislative system, things of that sort. Because just like being a judge, for instance, when you are a judge, you are in that seat for life. You know what I'm saying? Since the you mentioned earlier about like Thurgood Marshall, Harriet Tubman. You see, in South Louisiana, we learned about Lafayette the Great, you know, who was a slave owner, being of descent from Africa, Native American descent. And also the French, you know what I'm saying? Right. I wasn't trying to hear about no slavery, you know what I'm saying, man?
At the end of the day, it's part of history. It's sad to say, but it was something that we should have known personally because of how it affected us and still is today. You see what I'm talking about? It's still doing that to us today. That's the reason why I was like, wow, when I really started paying attention, because it's so deep that it's literally the system we live under, bro. That's why I keep saying this and I talk about it so much. It's the system we live under, bro. As people of color, anyone living in this system is going to have a hard time getting anywhere because of how it's already systematically structured.
I look at money as being the root of slavery, bro, for the fact that it's on the paper. Because, man. You know, you work for something that doesn't have it has a value because it is given value. But what about all the possessions in life that are natural, you know what I'm saying? I know people. It takes
away from that and it gives you a material base that satisfies a temporary pleasure, bruh. Think about it.
Then it's taken away. Like for instance, people with natural minerals and resources, all things of that sort on their property. Yep. Yet the next door neighbor has the equipment, you know what I'm saying, and they take away. It's all property. You know what I'm saying? I done saw people with yards or land for years and years, and all of a sudden here comes the city running a sidewalk through their property or moving their mailbox back and giving them little or nothing for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right.
I mean, damn, everybody's here in America. Like when the towers fell, I realized that all the people that America was going to war with, as far as Bin Laden and things of that sort, they were already here. You know what I'm saying? The gas stores, the hotels, the Indians been here for decades, man. You know what I mean? And I guess me embracing that side of America, my Native American blood, you know, that's within me. There's been a lot of bullshit and corruption, man, and I'm not satisfied with it at a 40-year-old point of view. You know what I mean? I still see a lot of room for change.
Oh, okay. Yep. I know what you mean. Yeah. But that's what I mean, like, bro, like, I mean, for myself personally, like, I was always flustered about the, you know, African American history because of the simple fact, like, honestly, I was mad at the fact that we studied it. We learned about, like, the softer version of how it was even worse than what we was reading about it. And then when we got old enough, we were pretty much thrown into the real realities of it, bro. Because a lot of the shit that you're seeing right now is because of this shit. And it's so stupid. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I've been hearing a lot about that.
Then the other part of it is about money. You got to look at that part. Like most of these other people is like, oh, now it's about, you know, what do you own that you can, you know, hold over everybody and make them pay the fee if they want it, and then force your prices wherever they are, however high they go, at whatever time they go.
And then what you start off with, they wind up getting back. You know what I'm saying? It's like modern day slavery.
It's like, my thing is like, but what is all of this for? It's like, bro, you got enough money as it is if you look at the situation to live longer than you're gonna live.
Hey, I've known people.
Your family will be set. Your entire family is set. Okay.
I've known people with more money than a lifetime could ask for, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that in the last 25 years I've not had much money, and I've managed to survive. You know what I'm saying, at a decent way of life, bro. So it's not about survival. You know what I'm saying? Because survival is within us all. I feel is how we carry on and how we build. You know what I mean? About traveling, man, and back to the histories. I heard that Washington, D.C.
But then you look at the fact that the majority of the people, specifically to this land, even have pillaged. Generations have pillaged. So these rich families that are in this country, if you're European or Irish or Italian, you know what I mean? Like, you do realize, like, y'all was the ones that came.
Because they've been a part of this too.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all were the reason why all of that happened. The Spaniards.
Yeah.
See, the Spanish. We can't say. See, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were the ones who decided to come around and snatch up shit and talk about a slave trade and.
I applaud the Spanish, and I think what we actually learned in American history was bullshit. Because they say that America has never been defeated at war, which is a bold-faced lie. You know what I'm saying? Because the Mexico of the
Mexico bodied everybody, but they held down the Alamo. Yeah. That's the only reason why they can claim that as anything anyway. But at the end of the day, let's not disrespect the fact that y'all had help yet again. You know what I mean?
Repeat that for me. Your thing was going out.
No,
repeat what you said.
Like, let's not forget that they yet again had help from the Negroes they hate.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, so at the end of the day, that necessarily hate, because we're all in the community bunched up amongst each other. You know what I mean?
Now, But at the
Yeah,
end of the day, that doesn't stop these people from still being as hateful as they want to be when they want to be. Because I've seen it in my own situation, bro. I was just dating a white lady.
okay.
So you see what
I
I'm
see
saying?
equality amongst some nationalities. I'm gonna say it like that. Because when you think about it, there's a ghetto across America, really, you know what I mean? And in our sections, it's going to be filled with us, the blacks that are bunched up on top of each other, that are harming each
Right.
other because we don't have the proper amount of space. It's filled with Latino, excuse
We've
me, Hispanic,
always been we've always been bunched together, struggle.
with the
They've
Korean at the gas store, or at not the
they've
gas
never
store, either Indian
in
or Koreans or
in the
Asians.
times that they've had here, in the times that they had here, they haven't had to do all that stuff. They've stolen information. They've even stolen stuff from us. Like, let's be serious. You know what I mean? We got Thomas Edison stole from fucking, black people that couldn't register patents at the time, because there were no black people that could register a patent at the time. At one point, you couldn't trademark an idea that you might have invented.
Well, that's like scientists wrote the Bible, you know what I'm saying? In order
Like,
to,
you have to understand the restrictions in the laws that were passed around, even in the situations because black people been here since the white people, quote unquote, been here, so they called it. So you see what I'm saying? Like, we got to look at all that shit. Like, they didn't start doing all that until they got here. And then they started classifying. Like, there were people that were coming over here at one point that had no idea of, like, the checkbox on the application or on the fucking any kind of form that said race.
exactly,
You see what I'm
exactly.
talking about? So we invented shit over here that people have to adjust and acclimate to and all this other stuff, because now we're putting German American or German Italian or whatever. You know what I mean? Some more weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be serious. You know what I mean? There were people that came from European areas, and some people that came from Africa, which was the baseline before it broke into the Middle East, and you know what I mean, the Middle Eastern regions, you know what I mean, and then you as you go further into the regions of as coming closer to, like, Asia, and then Russia, what is that
Um,
Pat over there in
yeah,
Italy, and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? So, like, as you go into that area, that's the Romans, and you know what I mean, like, all of that stuff. But see, and then you got to look at, and if you're paying attention to your history as they are so-called documenting it, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
In the Bible, and things of that nature, you got to look at the fact that the Romans were a heavy influence,
true.
very heavy influence. So you see what I'm saying? Their influence was more based on everything that was done around. Once they became more, impressionable, they pushed a lot of that around. You know what I mean?
My
So people
question would
knew
be,
that
what
was up.
happens when shit hits the fan if it hasn't already?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's here, man. It's like we're on an island, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? With the
Right.
exception to
Exactly.
the borders of Canada and Mexico, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we're still all bunched up, really, when you think about it, in a big ass circle, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when things get heated or whatever, or it's like a battle royal, bro. That's how I
And
see it, you know what
And
I
it's
mean? Too.
crazy because what really is the most I find fascinating about it is, like, if we all just sat down and sat down to really appreciate the culture of each and every one of us, because in this country alone we have learned to at least live and be able to commune amongst each other in this country. in this country alone, we have been able to prove that. So if we can just learn how to function together and in a way that y'all understand, this doesn't have to, we don't have to be so vicious and, you know, brutal to how we treat each other. Of course. Yeah. Like the
equality.
It's crazy, bro. To me, I noticed to myself, like we live in such a weird station of how we have to maintain existence on this planet. You know what I'm saying? It really is a baffling thing to me, bro. Like, but it makes me continue to just like be looking at things like, how can I be the positive anomaly? Fuck it. I'd rather just be different and not want to bear witness to the madness that people put themselves through when they try to function in a society where people are classifying, you know, an organizational base of people that are just like, wow, y'all are fascinating. Everybody on this planet is a fascinating person. Have you ever been to a country where, have you ever been to a part of the land where people are fucking eating other people? There are people like that out here, and it's like, why did we get placed in a planet like this? Why are we living here? Like, what is wrong with people? You know what I mean? Why were we created to, you know, have this kind of thought? This is wicked. You know what I mean? This shit get wicked out here. And I mean, you all know that in this world, one thing that is key, if you believe in, you know, religion, or even in one thing like or another, like God or whatever, how you look at the situation, right? You're after a situation, because at the end of the day, right, it all boils down to like, something got us here. Something happened, and this happened. And you know what I mean? At the end of the day, ain't no matter how we got here, this was a blessing. This was something of greatness. You see what I'm saying? But we should stop trying to now insist that we, you know what I mean, turn our world into like this crazy, just like, it's just insane. It's like to realize how the mind of people are now, like just anywhere you go.
What I focus on is building. Like, for instance, I've been disabled since 18 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've never had the opportunity to go in the work field for so many reasons. You know what I'm saying? And that keeps me stuck at a level where financially it's very difficult to legally gain. Right. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm speaking as a whole for everybody that is in a similar situation as me. You know what I'm saying? I've seen so many people that where I started off at, they got caught up, that are even some not even here no more, man. Right. You know what I mean? And I can't blame them or fault them for anything. However, I think the system is cruel and unjust. Like, for instance, on this fixed income, it's difficult to legally achieve on a normal level. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of my friends that are still here have houses, cars, boats. You know what I'm saying? All the things that you could buy in life. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I don't afford them things. I afford a 1-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not upset with that. I'm satisfied with that for now. But while trying to build, it seems like really people are trying to take away and destroy the little that we actually have. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, 100%. I do agree with you on that. They never was at this point, until we start to learn how to get people that are more committed to understanding how, in order to, you know what I mean, control situations that we already have in a situation, in order for us to like make things better, because we really have to start to dig into, that's what and that's the crazy part. We actually have to go back in order to understand how to undo some of the laws and systematic legislations throughout
Yeah.
cities. It's mainly because of the fact that the federal has nothing to do with the cities and states that are doing certain things. So like everything, it falls under understanding your civics. You know what I'm saying? If you understand the laws and civics and everything, you know how to understand what you know need to know
Yeah.
about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Who
how it
you think
works,
yes, who
how the
secretly
system
runs
works.
America, man?
Right.
Tell me, that's the
It,
question I have. Because when France gave the Statue of Liberty to America, right?
mhm.
To me, that allowed power. You know what I'm saying? At some point or place,
Right.
because that was a project, and I've never seen the Statue of Liberty in person. But I mean, to come from that far in two pieces, you know what I'm saying? The
Right.
weight to think of that had to been a militant experience in some way or form.
Mm-hmm.
And being of French descent, I guess I had a lot of history upon the French, you know what I'm saying, as education wise.
Right.
But
Right.
to move forward, bro, that's like being at the top of the mountain with some binoculars looking down, you know what I'm saying? You see a long way, you know what I mean? And the way
Right.
technology has advanced. Because I remember dial-up phones, man, when to get on the computer, you had to
You and
plug
me
the
both.
card up to it, you know what I'm saying? So to think, how long has technology like this really existed, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or cell phones ain't come out for us until what, maybe the early 90s? And it
Yeah.
wasn't advanced as computerized, you
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So how long has this shit really existed is what I wonder. Cause like if you think back to the slavery days, man, well, not modern day
Look,
slavery, but
ain't no
the
way in the
original.
hell you gonna tell me that after discovering a telephone and people, you know, working on stuff like that, that at some point people didn't start trying to understand how to develop stuff like, no, I mean, I wouldn't even say the touchscreen because they started off, think about how they started. They went from the actual phones that they used, the cell phone they used to have, which were them big shits that used to
Yeah,
fit in the car, that the ones they used to, that was the car phones and the cell and shit like that. The era of the car phones and all that. So then it was like, then it moved up from that to like, you see if, you know, maybe 20, 30, maybe, you know, 10 years, 5, 10 years later,
the
working on the phone,
Nokia.
getting good with styling a phone, shaping and making phones, you know what I mean? Constructing the casing, the hard casing for the phones. You see what I'm saying? They turned that into constructing thinner, more pocket size phones. You see what I'm saying? So the closest they came to a pocket size at that point was them big ass fucking phones. The ones with the big ass antennas.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? And then they started getting better at designing those. You had a whole bunch of those coming up. So then you turn around,
When
a couple more years go by. We into the 90s now. You know what I mean? That's when we get hit with like, you know, maybe a cell phone that has like keyboard on the motherfucker.
do you remember the box?
BlackBerry,
The box where music played, bro? Have you ever heard of it before?
the Vox.
Yeah, it was this channel on. Remember the old TVs, man, with the back on them and all that
Magnavox.
shit?
The Magnavox.
No, it was called the box. You could have called a
Oh, the
900
box. Oh,
number.
yeah. Are you talking about the box, the show?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I remember that show. I do.
yeah.
Absolutely do. I
I was
remember
like
watching that.
dial up
I didn't watch it as often because I, for some reason, couldn't really get the channel for some reason where I was living. So it's like, and my sister, I love her. She might kill me for this. She used to control the TV at some point. So we was watching. We was caught up in like Nickelodeon and shit. So like, you know, back then it was a lot of like Double Dare, two, you know what I mean? fucking what was that other show? What was that other show? Hidden Legends of the Hidden Temple. You ever watch that show? Legends
Nah,
of the
I've never
Hidden
heard
Temple.
of it before, bro.
Yo, if you got Paramount Plus,
Nah, I don't. I don't even have a television in here, man. I'm strictly
yeah.
computer these days, bro.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can watch that on. You should be able to actually, if you have it,
I'm
be able to
sure.
put it up on your computer.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so like that's what I mean. Like if you, I was gonna say, because if you had it, like they have like that show. It's like a talk show that used to be on Nickelodeon. So it's like Nickelodeon channel was mainly one of those that like you could like I was depending on like that because they had like Kenan and Kel. We watched all that. Like those was two of our favorite shows, and then there was like Are You Afraid of the Dark and shows like that. You know what I mean? Like it was like just little midlife kid, middle class style kids shit that we was living through. You know what I mean? At that class and time. You know what I mean? Shit was crazy. But I actually love.
Since you mentioned these shows, because I went from the box listening to music all day to BT. Is BT watered down now?
Oh, as like to me personally, that's kind of the reason why I kind of lost interest in watching it. But I'm hoping that it's gotten better. I mean, I've caught people watching it. I catch it when I go over to this little community center I chill at sometimes when I'm out, and it's like sometimes I realize that there's something there. They keep kicking out some of our dopest shows that black people love to watch. And my biggest thing is like I don't know really where the ownership is since it was sold by the original owner. You know what I'm saying? Like
you see, like
you know what I mean.
When I was in Nebraska, man, it didn't even exist. There is no BT.
That's the crazy part because at this point, even right now, it's like we got BET up here, and like it's one of those cable networks. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We got like if you got like Infinity, and if other than that, you gotta actually pay for the app because they want you to be fully involved.
Sure, that makes a difference. Also, I never thought of it from their perspective.
Yeah. They want you to be fully involved in their profit mainly because like after the original owners, sold the business, they sold it off to like, the people that bought it from them, you know what I'm saying? It's done been passed down through a few hands. You know what I mean? And they've run it different ways. So like they've sort of at one point they watered it down. And that's why I stopped watching because it was like almost like it was like degrading to black people at some point. It was almost my nigga. And unless we were looking at like really, really black historics, like because we still need to understand like black mess. Because like, do you realize like I talked to somebody who has never heard of Roland Martin?
Likewise, I've never heard of Roland Martin.
Like he's a black journalist. Actively running his own black-owned news channel on YouTube. He got his own channel. It's like you can actually download his app on your phone if you have, an app phone.
Yeah.
Like you can watch his shows. It's Black Star Network. So it's like at the end of the day, like you see what I'm saying? Like we, you know what I mean? As black people realize that.
Braidman. I've been tapped in with Braidman on YouTube. It's the Black People's podcast.
Okay.
And I've been getting like, he speak the real, bro. I'm gonna start tuning in a little more. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Man, connect me and link, bro. We get some shit going, man. Like today is a new day. Peasy got a new hair day going on this way. You see the boy done took it all the way out, as you know.
It'll grow back when you're ready for it, man.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't even jump into that whole structure, man. I had to take it off at this point, like, you know what I'm saying? Because my shit was coming in crazy, and I don't like that. we can't be working like that. We gotta get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, it's all about making sure that this shit come in, you know, healthy, clean, and right. And you know, if it's gonna come, if I'm gonna keep it going, I'm gonna keep it going. You know. But at this point, it probably ain't no sense for me keeping it going because of the way it was growing in the first place. And that's actually looking like that's gonna be the genetics, because my grandmother said that, my cousin said that, my you know what I mean, like my aunts was saying that. It's like, oh my God, I started to experience something that I never thought I would see. Like, why? The boy gonna have to deal with that. Oh man. Blind MC going bald in the back, B. So fuck it, you know what it is. We flow,
man,
G.
look, you fortunate, bro. I've been bald since 25 about, bro. So man, look, them days came quick, soon, and in a hurry, bro. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? What got me, I guess, a bit torn apart, man, because it's genetics for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had family members that started at the same time with me, brother, and didn't even get to see their hair fall, you know what I mean? So I look at it as a blessing, a gift to be of this age, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the hair, man, you know what I mean? And to me, cause the shit ain't gonna grow no more, that's definite. You know
I think the main reason, I ain't gonna lie though, one of my main reasons why I personally didn't want my hair or thought about, you know what I mean, I wanted my hair more, and it's because my, you know, childhood, my hair was always cut. It was always like this. You know what I mean? Almost every picture you see me in, brush cut. You know, I might have had a ponytail. I might have had back in the days when they used to have the little pigtails in the back, little rat tails. I had that back in the back one time. That was the thing.
I done ran out of papers, man. I'm stuffing tobacco in my motherfucking bowl, bro.
Oh no, don't do that.
Hey, it's better than nothing, bro.
If you ain't got no papers or nothing, you can't roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean,
cool,
it's better than
it's been a blessed moment, man.
I agree, bro. We've had a really good, healthy, hearty talk. Everything has been full. We've had we've covered a lot of ground on tonight's show, and I'm really happy that we actually had this time to sit down, bro. This was dope, man. And I'm glad that you got me motivated, because this really got me motivated to talk about it, bro. That's why I'm really deep.
I got one question, Pete, before you end this off, man.
Tell me, bro.
How you felt, or what was the impact of the Million Man March to you, bro? Because I'm sure that you can remember.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm upset that I didn't go. I'm
okay.
upset I haven't been able to make the move there. But like, I can't afford to be taking trips like that, bro. I gotta pay for my life. I can't afford none of that. So until I can actually afford to be a person that wants to participate like that, I can't do anything. I'm barely getting by my damn self sometimes. Yeah. So it's like shit be fucked up like that for me, and I'm trying to just organize it as I can, because there ain't no other way to get around it. I gotta live. So you know,
jumpstart our life, man. I applaud you for that, bro.
It's just crazy. I stay focused on it though. That's why I watch, you know, shows like, you know what I mean, you know, Roland Martin, who has a show on YouTube. If you ever get a chance, go onto YouTube and check out Roland Martin Unfiltered. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really why you know what I mean, I mention it, because like, you know what I mean, if you ever just strolling through, check him out. Like, and at the end of the day, he's running 5 different shows, which is why he has his network, his new channel, like he's trying to create, or his new platform he created, Black Star Network. So it's like he's been working on independent Black information, independent Black politics. It's like information that really germinates with people. So yeah, I'm doing a large shout out to Roland Martin, man. Shout out to him. He had his birthday, not this past week, but 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So I mean, for me personally, because of him, I learned a lot about historic, you know, Black and why it's so important to to know certain things about our history in this and how it threads into this country, because you never realize like how deeply embedded into this country we had to be. We had to literally be like horses and vehicles you see out on the street, but with a little less respect, with a lot less respect. It's like, come on, like they treated us like we were literally expungible. We were fucking disposable people at one point. So for me to even dismiss that and in anything I see as far as how I, vote or how I see people outside now, it's not even that I have hatred in my heart. I have a well-known understanding of how people can be and what can also become from other people out here experiencing life and what it has brought us to at this point. You know what I mean? So being me, I love being in the world that I'm in, and I can't say that I love the world. I love the world because it was created by God, the one person that no one can dispute at this point. But how you relate to that is different in many ways, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I just know that, you know what I mean, I want to be really somebody that, respectfully has like made a well-rounded response to how people see me, one, and see how, you know what I mean, they would
Say no more, man. Salute. I'm out, bro. Till tomorrow, man. Peace.
Yeah, man, we can pick it up, bro. But like I said, bro, I just like we can sit here and kick it for as long as you want at this point. But like I said, bro, the conversation goes deeper, bro, and we can talk about something tomorrow if we could talk about it tomorrow. Like, I mean, we can come up with a topic. Matter of fact, maybe we can continue this topic for tomorrow. So yeah, appreciate you, bro, for stopping in, man. Like I said, bro, it's always a blessing to have you around, bro. For real, bro. I appreciate you, man. So, as I said, man, at any given time, bro, you can make this happen. But like, yeah, man, like another day down, and we back in this bitch again. So I appreciate y'all, bros and ladies, and they're coming through, sliding through. Appreciate y'all. We out of here.